Very good. All righty. Well, let's get started here. I'm Steve Lander, Director of Pavement Management for WithersRavenel. And today's Lunch and Learn is Charleston County's TI program. And this is our 46th Lunch and Learn. So that's Charleston County, South Carolina. So anyway, hope everybody's well and staying busy. So the intent of our Lunch and Learns, and if you've been involved with these, is that we're trying to introduce maybe new products, practices. Most of them are not new, but they've been around and been tried and true. And but to try it at your municipality or county. So the whole idea is to broaden the maintenance toolbox, and we want to manage the roadway system at the highest level of service for the least cost. And we're going to get into that today with a treatment that is early on the deterioration curve. Alrighty, so today there's going to be several links posted in the chat area. And one of the links, the top link, is if you need PDH credit. So you get 1 PDH credit, you just hit the link, it'll take you to a website, and you'll get a free PDH credit. And every one of these that we do, you get PDH for. It should be noted that we record these things. So if you have to jump off for any reason, we can provide you with a link so you can watch the presentation. We can provide a PDF version of the slides that you're going to get ready to see. So anyway, let us know. And all too is we're receptive to any ideas. This is our 46th one. We try to keep it fresh. We different topics as things evolve. And so anything that you would like us to talk about, just let us know. You could let us know in the chat. You can email us. Also, all three of us, our emails will be in the chat as well. So feel free to reach out. All right. So the format is that Mackenzie and Ken are going to be presenting for about 40 to 45, 50 minutes. Everybody's on mute. So if you have questions, post it in the chat. And we kind of hope that you ask questions during the presentation so that we, as much as possible, we can create a conversation rather than just going through some slides. All right. So I get to introduce our presenters today, and I'm friends with both of them. And they're both, I would consider roadway warriors, both of whom have managed, well, Mackenzie manages a very large roadway network with 1,800 centerline miles. They do a really great job of treating the roads at all levels of deterioration. So she sits on the board of directors for the Southeast Pavement Preservation Partnership and was recently named the 2025 Network Hero Award by the Pavement Preservation and Recycling Alliance. So it's a big deal. So you're going to learn a lot today of how Charleston County treats the roads high on that deterioration curve. So Ken, on the other hand, I could say a lot, right? So Ken and I work together. We've known each other for probably about 10 years. And so he's got 30 plus years of experience. He's a Florida grad. And he worked for the city of Tampa for 24 years, where he managed 1,200 miles of road, and he tried all the treatments. Before he was working for Pavement Technology, he was using Pavement Technology's products because he believed in them, and so he was able to manage the network as best as one could in broadening the maintenance toolbox. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mackenzie to start the presentation.
All righty.
You're starting up, Mackenzie. Did you mention that you need a pavement manager?
Yeah,
I was gonna get there.
yeah.
So while we're watching this great presentation, if you think about how much beautiful Charleston is, we are looking for a pavement manager. Please email me. Alrighty, can everybody see my screen?
Did you tell everybody how nice it is in Charleston County and the restaurants and the
Award-winning network, great place.
award-winning network? Yes. I mean, you'd really fit in well.
Right.
So there we go.
Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. It's not showing it on my end. I apologize.
Technology.
Technology, man.
So, and for everybody, we actually do a walkthrough the day before, a couple days before, where we work out all the kinks on these things. And of course, you know how it works.
Yeah, I apologize.
That's okay.
Trying to do it with my notes. There it goes. Okay. Everybody's good? Can see my screen?
No,
No.
we don't.
Man,
No.
I'm sorry.
And it was just working.
Let's try again.
There you go. It's sharing. There we go. It's good.
And present. We good?
Yes.
We're good.
Awesome. Sorry, guys. All right. So again, my name is Mackenzie Kelly. I'm the engineering manager with Charleston County Public Works. And also, again, here today with me is Ken Holton, who's a technical consultant with Pavement Technology. Thank you again for having us here today to talk about our success story with our PlusTi or photocatalytic preservation program. So different collaboration and partners across the low country, we're able to help Charleston lead the way in implementing these innovation ideas in our payment management network. So we're not only extending the life of the roads here in Charleston, but we're also having proven, shown clean environmental benefits around these treatments. So I want to give a little bit of an overview of Charleston Network. Apologize, this picture is a little blurry, but I just wanted to highlight here the size of Charleston. So we have approximately a little over 4,000 network miles, which is about 1,800 centerline miles. The Charleston County is the third largest in the state. We have 100 miles of coastline, and if you were to measure Charleston County from end to end, we're about the same size as the state of Delaware. Within our network, we're unique where we not only have Charleston County roads, but it also includes all 16 municipalities. So City of Charleston, Folly Beach, all across. And this also includes all state South Carolina DOT secondary routes. So essentially our network is every paved public road in Charleston County except for the interstate system. Each year we get about 10 million annual funding budget, and that's through our transportation sales tax program, which is here in Charleston County, and then also the state gas tax, the county transportation committee. We are looking to go for another sales tax probably next year. Hopefully we'll more than double our budget, which we really need here in Charleston. We are very proud of our network. We not only use, mill and fill, but we have a lot of different tools in our toolbox, from preservation, rehabilitation, and reconstruction techniques. We want to really tackle roads on all different levels on that deterioration curve. And then finally, we're seeing about, it's probably more today, but 7.3 million visitors annually. The last average I saw was about 35 people are moving to Charleston every day. So that's really taking a toll on our network here. So moving in, I kind of want to go over some pavement management 101. You may have seen this before, but it's the pavement deterioration curve. So on the left here, you have your PCI or pavement condition index. So when you have a brand new road at year 0, it's in excellent condition. And then about year 10, you'll see it kind of quickly decline. And as it gets into fail around year 20 there. So it's really important. You can see at the top there, you want to spend less money to do these preservation techniques, where it's a lot cheaper for us to keep and extend the life the roads early on rather than waiting until they start failing and need a full mill and fill or reclamation treatments. And Steve, I don't know if this is your slide, which I want to give you credit for. So, did you want to walk through it or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of each one of these, and it ties into our deterioration curve and when to do things. And so when we started, Rob Holland and I started at WithersRavenel, we sat down and said, what are some of the successful, or what are the components of a successful pavement management program? And if we look at the top, it's planning, right? Sometimes there is no plan. Sometimes we have just enough money to do a certain amount. And what do? We do what we know best, and we go and we mill and fill roads because that's what we have. And so you win little battles, but are you losing the war? And the old adage, do you know, or are you guessing when it comes to managing your roadway network? How much does it cost to get to a determined level of service? And what type of treatments do you need to get to that level of service? And so setting a plan with all stakeholders is really important. And from there, as we work our way clockwise around the circle, then from your plan, the pavement condition survey supports your plan, as does the life cycle modeling, the maintenance toolbox, which we're going to talk about, the TI product. That's a high on the curve treatment, and then putting together good contract documents for the field, making sure that there's no disconnect between the beginning stages and when we do the work in the field, construction inspection, monitoring with the construction history how well treatments are performing is important. And what about those other assets, the water, sewer, stormwater, sidewalks? These other assets that exist within our roadway right-of-way, being able to treat them in conjunction with the pavement, because nobody likes a new cut on an asphalt. I just say nobody. And then funding, which is not so readily available for pavement, but we're able to locate grants and low interest rate loans for municipal clients. And to date, we've found over $1 billion. So these are the components of a successful pavement management program. And it's not something that you arrive at. It's something that you're looking at and constantly revising as time goes on. Back to you.
Okay. Yeah, so here in Charleston, we do those pavement condition surveys about every 4 years, and we are utilizing Agile Assets for our pavement management system. Moving on. So focusing here on the pavement preservation in our network. Again, if you can see on the bottom left here, that pavement deterioration curve. So using Reclamite, it's kind of showing that pink line there. We treat all roads here in Charleston at year 3, and then again 5 years later, or year 8, to kind of extend that line, that pink line, extending the life of the roadway. Charleston County has been partnering with Pavement Technologies since 2012 to utilize Reclamite. So again, we're showing that life extension of about 5 years with each treatment. So the fun part about this treatment too, if you have never used it, it goes down pink, which is really fun. And then within a few minutes, it turns clear. So on all of our projects too, we also do a lot of core testing. We want the data to show, that what we're doing is a good use of taxpayer money. So here's an example of those viscosity tests we do. So you can see the large reduction. So essentially what it's showing is we're able to keep that asphalt sticky and flexible, keep the life of the glue within the asphalt. And we have data since 2012 on all of the roads we've treated every year, or not all the roads, but every program we've done every year. And Ken, I want to give this slide over to you, kind of dig in a little bit.
All right. So Mackenzie showed earlier in the presentation the deterioration curve you see there to the left side. The pink represents the pink material that Mackenzie just showed going down on the road. And what it's doing is pushing the first distress out later in life. So the goal to early preservation or preventive maintenance is to prevent any damage from occurring if possible until as far down that pavement preservation curve as you can. Roads are still going to deteriorate over time. We know that. It's just how do you keep the asphalt flexible and adhesive like it's supposed to be? Well, preventive maintenance is a great way to do it. And Mackenzie did a great job here in Charleston County. The graph there on the right, if you see the red line, that would be following the general deterioration curve. So as the pavement begins to deteriorate, or in this case, the red line is saying hardness is taking place. So as the pavement begins to get harder, the road deteriorates, and it allows distresses to creep in because the asphalt binder is getting harder and harder. And you can see somewhere down there, maybe around year 5, you're going to see maybe an inflection point. So the road is going to get harder faster. So it's going to accelerate the aging. If you look back over to the left, that's where you see the accelerated curve start to accelerate downwards. Our whole goal is with preventive maintenance is to slow that deterioration down. So we want to get more like the green line below that. That would be a treated road. And then somewhere around year 5, we would treat that road again, further widening the gap between a untreated and treated road. So that's how these two graphs work together. Is slow the deterioration down, push that curve out, have a better road for the agency, longer in life. The citizens will appreciate it, and the county's budget will appreciate it very much.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've kind of talked about, we've been working with Pavement technology for about 12 years now. We have a really good relationship with them, a lot of great data showing the product working on our roads. So I want to take a second to imagine if our city streets could remove pollution, but you'd be even more efficient at it than the forest. So I'm going to play a video.
Even a small forest can remove the emissions of thousands of cars every day, but we don't have room for forests where air pollution occurs. What if our city streets could act more like a forest and remove pollution? With help from the sun, titanium dioxide treated roads from Pavement technology now can literally eat smog. When TIO2 is energized by light, millions of electrons create an energy field atop the road. When cars travel along a TIO2 treated road, pollutants are captured and oxidized, instantly removing the airborne threat. Pollution capture is important technology, and scientists agree. Titanium dioxide is a proven way to remove toxic vehicle emissions like nitrous oxides and other pollutants harmful to humans. A single mile of titanium dioxide treated roads can stop as much pollution as 20 acres of trees. Now our city streets really can act like forests. Real science, real results. Pavement technology.
All right, so the county have been working with us for many years, slowing the deterioration down of their roadways. And we brought the idea to the county. Mackenzie, having an environmental background, myself having an environmental background as well, she quickly caught on to the concept of what that video just showed. And we're looking at ways of look at the signs across the top, the road signs. We want to capture as much of that vehicle emissions as possible. Some of the other things that we put in front of the county, and we documented how titanium dioxide could do these different things that you see on the roadside. So break down vehicular emissions, mitigate the heat island. Of course, we're already extending the life of the roadway. We also saw the potential for decomposing microplastics and getting some water off the road faster. As we've gone through our research, we found out we can directly break down CO2 as well. So our research is ongoing, and with partners like the county putting this on their roads and allowing us to do testing as well as part of those projects. We're doing our best to bring the future of making the roadway beneficial to the agency level and scale it up as the agency can scale up.
So after a lot of coordination with Pavement technology, we ended up deciding we wanted to do a pilot project in the spring of 2021. And this was if you're not familiar with Charleston, it's kind of what we call the neck area. The roads highlighted in green is the Rosemont community and the Union Heights community. You can see they're kind of separated by a pretty large interstate system there. And this is the area right before you get into downtown Charleston. And again, we had several meetings with Pavement technology and Ken, and we wanted to make sure we planned this out well. We spent probably about a year talking about it. We wanted to make sure we had a good understanding of the benefits it could bring, maybe any risk or negative impacts, an overview of cost, and kind of an overview of goals. So for this project, we're focusing more on air quality. In the Union Heights neighborhood, the U.S. Department of Transportation has designated this neighborhood as what they call a historically disadvantaged community. It's split by the I-26 corridor and directly adjacent to US 78 and US 52. So according to data from the environmental risk, the air toxins and respiratory hazards here are really, really bad. This has contributed to the neighborhood ranking in the bottom 5% of average life expectancy nationwide. So increased traffic and congestion along the interstate, environmental concerns. They've received a lot of media, residential, and even national political attention for this neighborhood based on the environment here. So we were very careful, wanted to make sure that we were picking the right area, and we felt they could have the biggest benefit from this pilot project. So my name is Mackenzie Kelly. I'm the pavement manager with Charleston County Public Works. Today we're out here in the Rosemont community to do a project with asphalt rejuvenator, reclamite, plus titanium dioxide. Charleston County's pavement management program has been utilizing reclamite and asphalt rejuvenator for nearly a decade. This preservation technique is used to delay the deterioration of recently paved roads by penetrating down into the asphalt and protecting the asphalt from damage from sun and water. The county is one of the first agencies to use the additive titanium dioxide, an air quality component that improves the air by facilitating the oxidation of airborne emissions produced by vehicle exhaust.
Titanium dioxide is a photocatalyst. The photocatalyst actually, when UV light, sunlight hits the roadway, it excites an electron. The electron jumps up above the roadway and begins to break down pollutants. So it breaks down the tailpipe emissions, volatile organics, molds, viruses, those sort of things. In addition, it's actually going to help reduce the heat island. And so we're going to measure all of these quantitatively. After the fact, we have some areas of treated and untreated. We're going to send those cores to Texas A&M and provide the results to the county.
In projects completed in Greenville, South Carolina, and Orlando, Florida, and additional testing completed by Texas A&M, research has shown a reduction in this nitrogen oxide, which is the pollution from vehicle exhaust, by over 40%. We have been coordinating and receiving input from other organizations across the Lowcountry. South Carolina DHEC has an air monitor in Union Heights that will have pre and post data of air quality numbers. We have completed presentations with the BCD COG, shared information with the medical district downtown, and more. We hope to share and gain knowledge from each other on the benefits of this product. For this pilot, we chose the Union Heights and Rosemont neighborhoods since they are directly along I-26 and could have the greatest benefit from this product. For more information on our pavement management program, please visit roads.charlestoncounty.org. Okay, so the video does a really great job giving an overview of our pilot project, but one question we get all the time is people think we're painting the roads. So I included this slide here just to kind of show after maybe about 30 minutes, it does the yellow treatment turns clear. So you can see the left lane is untreated and the right lane is maybe an hour after treatment. It kind of has that glossy sheen to it. But within a week, you can't even tell a treatment was put down on the road.
Hey, yeah, because we got a couple questions.
Yeah, shoot.
So how often do you reapply the titanium treatment?
Here in Charleston, we're only doing a one-time treatment, and then we'd follow up with a reclamite. Kim can kind of dive into it, but their studies have shown that it stays in the asphalt.
So anyway, so that's for all.
Also, are there any concerns with increased nutrients and runoff after roads are treated with titanium dioxide?
Ken, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I'm getting a real bad feedback.
too.
Is anyone else
Oh, sorry,
getting
it
that?
might be me.
We have an open mic somewhere.
It might be me. I think we're good now.
Testing.
It's good, yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's just
I still hear it. So what was your question?
Are there any concerns with increased nutrients and runoff after roads are treated with titanium dioxide?
There have been no concerns. We've had a little bit of water quality testing done, and it's shown no nutrient increase loading, so no loading of nutrients and streams adjacent to roadways. Are y'all getting the feedback like I am?
Yeah, it's a bad.
I'm not hearing it on my end.
So Mackenzie, I guess just maybe just keep going.
You sure? Okay, I can try.
I am not getting the feedback with you, Kenzie.
Okay. Well, let me know if I need to stop, but I'll keep going. All right. So our next slide here, I just wanted to highlight our pilot partners for this project. So of course we had Pavement Technology in Charleston County. But I also wanted to highlight, we worked with the city of North Charleston, the city of Charleston, and the South Carolina DOT. They owned a lot of the roads that we did our treatments on. So we wanted to make sure that they were aware and wanted to be a partner in this project. We also partner with South Carolina DHEC. They actually had an air monitor in Union Heights. So we were hoping to collect some good pre and post data to measure, just to see. There's a lot of variables with it being out in the environment. And then also during this time was COVID. So that greatly impacted the traffic and emission numbers. So we didn't really end up digging into that number at the end of the day, but it was nice that we were considering doing it, I guess. We also partner with the BCB COG, so that's the Berkeley, Charleston, Dorchester Council of Government. They asked us to come speak to their Air Quality Coalition meeting and help spread the word on our pilot project and get involved. A lot of people in Tri-County were interested in similar goals. And that also includes MUSC, the Medical University of South Carolina. They've been a great partner as well. They were looking to do some environmental projects on their campus, kind of more towards the heat island, which we'll get into later. And then finally, we had the Charleston Community Research to Action Board and the Low Country Alliance. So this is a community that helps us outreach to the community here and get their voices heard and work with the HOA so they understand what we're doing in their neighborhood. So as we talked about in that video, we did send road cores to Texas A&M. So from our specific pilot, not only were we able to extend the life of the road by about 5 years with each treatment, we were also able to eliminate nearly all roadway microplastic debris along the roadway, reduce harmful vehicle pollution by 39%. I know Pavement Technology has had higher numbers on other pilot projects as well, but on ours, we're also able to have a road surface that's 4 times more emissive than untreated roads. So this means they're more reflective, isn't right, emission, but helping combat urban heat island impacts. So again, I want to highlight a picture here, April 21. You can see that they're putting that mat down. And on the right, you can see a few years later in June of 23, you can see where that mat was. So it's a lot more raveled in the untreated area. So you can see the reclamite is really working here and helping preserve and extend the life of those roadways.
I guess I could try am I reverberating? Yeah.
Are you the echo?
Hey, can you mute and see if it goes away?
I've been muted.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
Okay, sorry guys. So after our pilot project, we received not only a lot of feedback here in Charleston, but also internationally. So I want to highlight here, Charleston County spraying road with a sunblock to help stop heat and tackle pollution. Charleston County tries out new asphalt treatment meant to cool and clean. The future of asphalt unveiled in Charleston County. And I want to highlight here on the left, which we found pretty funny, is we got put in a beauty blog, which we were not expecting at all, but they picked up our story. What exactly is this new pavement sunscreen mean for skin? So moving forward, when implementing a new treatment here in the community in Charleston County, we want to be very vigilant as we engage members of the community from all different walks of life. We had engineers, community activists, medical doctors, environmentalists, government leaders, all different members of the community. We felt it was really important to bring everybody together so we can work together to share information or lessons learned while working towards the common goal of improving our quality of life here in Charleston. As a pavement manager, sometimes you get too focused on how we're going to preserve and work to focusing on the roads, improving the road network. And it's easy to become hyper-focused on that goal and that perspective. So I really wanted to bring in other members of the community to make sure we're actually doing really good things. So after the success of our pilot project, we wanted to move forward with adding this into our annual treatment program, and that started in 2023. So I was invited in the spring of 23, what NOAA called the Low Country Boil. It was an exercise they hosted that invited all different Charleston agencies that held a stake or role in extreme heat events that here in Charleston. They also held other meetings in Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Miami. And we all wanted to come together to have a better understanding of heat risk, and existing roles and responsibilities and resources available to us. A lot of other agencies didn't realize the project we were working on. So I was able to network and make a lot of really great connections. So I want to highlight here just kind of the heat island here in Charleston. You can see it's really bad, more in the downtown area. And then I'll kind of toggle between the two, but our Rosemont, our pilot project's there on the left. And then the 3 called out on the right are those large ports, cruise ships, or ports, so large concrete islands that are really contributing to that heat island here in Charleston. So from that meeting, 2 of the biggest partnerships we made was with Dr. Amanda Guthrie. She's with the South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium. And then also Dr. Curtis. He's the director at the Climate Studies with the Citadel. They are members of the Charleston Heat Health Research Project. They come together to try and learn more about heat impacts in Charleston. So we decided we wanted to partner with them to do some more testing through them with our next project, which would be Drake Street. So Drake Street's located here in kind of the right in the middle of that heat in downtown Charleston. And on the left, you can see that blue line there. We ended up treating only the southern portion of the road. We thought it'd be really nice to have it treated and untreated on the same road in the same area. So here's some pictures from that day. You can see with the PlusTi, it's more of a yellow color, not that pink, but we're treating the roads here. And then we also decided to treat the sidewalks as well. So I wanted to mention too, there's a lot of public housing along Drake Street. So again, this is a community that gets hit the hardest with these hot heat days here in the summer in Charleston. Here's some more testing of Dr. Curtis in the field on the left and some of the interns they hired to help us with these heat studies. This project also got a lot of really positive media attention from the community, even from MUSC. In 2023, we also won the National American Public Works Technical Innovation Award for our project. You see Ken and I there in the middle. And then also moving forward, Charleston County Council adopted our photocatalytic rejuvenator into our annual infrastructure plan, which is a big deal. So every 5 years, they want us to increase our program about 5% each year. And that's from 25 to 27. So they really are backing us and supporting us in this program. So next steps from Charleston County, we want to continue targeting roads located in these heat islands or high traffic volume that might have air pollution concerns, continue testing in the field and lab, and building these partnerships that we have with the community and with Pavement technology. We also want to go into further studies, maybe looking more into formal life cycle extension analysis. I know Pavement Technology has been working with the WAP Sustainability Consulting Group. And then also, I'll let Ken talk more about this, but Pavement Technology also has their environmental product declarations as well for this project or product. So I'll turn it over to you, Ken.
All right, am I still going?
Not on my end.
On my end, I heard that.
Oh, sorry. I'll try to mute.
Mackenzie, do you mind trying to take these next slides?
I can try.
All right.
Let's see. Steve, are you still having echo issues?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm seeing people chat say the feedback's terrible.
I wonder if it's me. Here, maybe I'll try muting.
All right, testing. It's still there.
Okay. I'll try, Ken, but jump in.
Go ahead.
So I know Pavement Technology, they recently received their first cradle to grave LCA. So they have their environmental declarations, as you can see here, for the PlusTi product. See Mike saying maybe use some earphones, that might help. Next slide. Ken, are you still there? We're losing everybody, Steve.
Murphy's Law.
I know. Promise we practiced this before.
And I got off and came back in.
So how's that go? Yeah, maybe let's see what Ken's doing if he comes back. Is there any questions or anything? Oh, okay. Sorry, everybody. Just gonna let him do these slides, but
Try logging out.
I hear you, Ken.
Steve, you still kill that? Go.
Oh yeah, bad.
I'm getting a bad echo from you, Steve. Only one I'm not Mackenzie.
Should I wait for Ken or?
Are you able to give the rest of the presentation?
Yeah, I can try. They're more Ken slides, but I can I can try.
Yeah, work through it.
Yeah. Okay. So environmental benefits of roadway. I know that they have a lot of different benefits, like we talked about earlier. We got the cleaning the air, microplastic reduction. It kind of goes through in that video we showed earlier. Hopefully Ken can jump in a bit. I think Mackenzie needs to mute.
So Mackenzie, this is showing our sustainability partners.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to help you.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you. I was trying to mute.
All right, how about now? That may open it up.
Yeah, you sound fine. I don't hear the echo with you now.
Perfect, thank you. All right, so what we're doing with this titanium dioxide is we're drawing in basically you would think something that looks like a talcum powder into the roadway surface. And so we're able to retrofit an in-place asphalt pavement to show the benefits of what we've been talking about, from heat island to microplastics to tailpipe emission reductions. We've had to work with a lot of partners, Texas A&M, Purdue, the WAP sustainability consultants. They have gone through our life cycle analysis and created our EPDs. We're working with eco engineers as well. So we have a whole host of people that we're working with to show that this process is accomplishing the goals that that'll be a benefit to the agencies. Go ahead to the next one. And so to kind of give you a quick chemistry lesson, titanium dioxide is a photocatalyst. So UV light will excite that catalyst. It excites the electrons in the valence band to a place where they escape. When they escape, they hit moisture in the air above the pavement, and that begins an oxidative reduction reaction. It's similar to what Mother Nature would be doing. We're just bringing it right next to where the pollution sources are. And what we have found is the titanium dioxide is not expended. So as long as it's in the pavement, it continues to regenerate itself. So it throws an electron and quickly grabs another electron. And as long as you have UV light, the process is working. The next slide.
Hey, Ken, we got a question. Can titanium dioxide be applied to any asphalt surface? Any issues being applied over thermo or paint?
So as long as the asphalt has not been seal coated, and a seal coat is there as a barrier to keep things from getting into the pavement. As long as it has not been seal coated, this material will get in and penetrate in. It does not permanently bond to anything else but asphalt. So the answer is no, it does not impact the markings or concrete that it would get on. It would temporarily discolor those. But what we found is they remain safe. Retroreflectivity remains in safety zones, especially at night, so you can see clearly those markings. Did that answer the question there? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So if you kind of get a concept, what you see on the slide right now is that zone created around where the vehicles are. This is where your pollution is being created from the roadway itself. And we're able to break down, all the things that we show there, the carbon dioxide, NOx, VOCs, microplastics. Again, all that testing is still ongoing. Go ahead to the next one. Some of our testing that we have done, just kind of these are results. Again, we have a whole lot more testing. Just real quick, in the city of Raleigh, tailpipe emissions, we were able to reduce those anywhere from the mid-30s to about 50%. In Cincinnati, Ohio, well into the 40% reduction in tailpipe emissions. So if you think about this, you're taking the effect of about 30 to 50% of the cars off the roadway. And then the next slide. From the heat respect, one way you measure the heat or the urban heat island effect is to measure the solar reflective index. And so we're able to influence that solar reflective index into where it would be LEED, U.S. Green Building Council, meet those standards, or the ISI Envision standards. If you see the control samples there for asphalt, that's around 9. We can get well up over the 29, which is required. So we're in the upper 30s, around 40 for asphalt. And then the concrete still have to be above 29, but typically it's in the low 20s. We're able to influence that up into the upper 30s as well. So this is just kind of showing, yes, we are reducing that urban heat island and verifying what's happening there. And the next slide shows an image from some roadways that we treated. So those roads are in blue. And this is a neighborhood street network. We treated the roads in blue. And if you look at that thermal imaging, that area of the neighborhood is a lot cooler than where the other parts of the neighborhood are. So this is just another, I'm going to say third-party QC test. This is a satellite image looking down. And this is actually in Raleigh. And so what's happening is the next slide where UV light would typically penetrate in to the pavement and radiate back out. With the titanium dioxide, it's actually, we're not getting as much heat energy into the pavement. Some of that's being expended in the throwing the electron reaction, and then some of it's just being re-emitted quickly right off the surface, not reflected. So we're not causing a heat issue above the pavement. We're just not allowing as much heat to get into the pavement so that it re-irradiates out, causing that heat island effect as the environment begins to cool, say in the evening. And a lot of people ask the question, does this have to be retreated? I would say at some point, most likely, but what we're seeing after about 5 years of testing, we're still seeing about an 85, 88% retainage of the titanium dioxide. So if that's enough to do the reaction, again, we have to, some of our testing is letting us know, yes, it is, but it's still doing 88% of the job that it started out doing. So the sustainability of the material in the pavement is holding on very well. That concludes the presentation. We have time for some questions, Steve.
So maybe as we're talking here, folks can think of questions that they want to ask. It would be good. Ken, maybe it might be good to talk about, at the beginning of the presentation, I talked about that typically funding is not available for pavement, but with the titanium dioxide product, that there are chances for grant money. And I know you've been involved with some of that. Maybe you could explain, talk about your efforts in that arena.
Yeah, we've been working with EPA and Federal Highway Administration. We've gone after a couple of grants with some agencies, and I'm not sure the market was ready to accept this technology into those grants themselves. but we are definitely continuing to work with those agencies. If federal grant money comes available, we're definitely looking at opportunities. Each agency that's out there needs to expand their budget to take care of the roadways. And this is one of the technologies that can actually lower your carbon footprint, I'll say indirectly by life cycle extension, but also lower your carbon footprint by breaking down CO2. So we can help make with this material the roadway environment. So the asphalt industry or concrete industry, we can make their carbon footprint negative with this material on the roadway. So if you, Mackenzie, or anyone else is looking to have a neutral or negative carbon footprint, we're able to do that. And some of our slides, and I know maybe with the echo, we didn't get into that very much, but that's what the WAP process for life cycle analysis was showing, and how the EPDs have already gone not just cradle to gate, which is the material, the titanium dioxide material going from manufacturing or from the well field basically to the street. We've gone all the way through to the end of the asphalt roadway life. And so that life cycle analysis makes the environmental product declaration one of the first that goes, or if not the first, that actually goes for the whole life cycle, not just cradle to gate. So not just getting it on the ground. I believe. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the county we submitted a raise grant for a new pedestrian bridge over the Ashley River, and we
That's
did
right.
include PlusTi in that grant too, to help with our environmental, get more points in that way.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot that. That's right.
We'll find out in June if we won.
Hey, so Ken, maybe if you could talk to the difference between reclamite and titanium dioxide, and when do you use one product over the other?
So, and I can speak, like Mackenzie may want to take that one too, because this is more how the agency looks at it. But from the high level view, the MRT, malting replacement, is present in both reclamite and asphalt rejuvenating agent 1, the ARA1TI material. Both will extend the life of the roadway. As Mackenzie showed in her picture, the control section was deteriorating much faster. So they both will make the roadway deteriorate slower just from the malting in production. The titanium dioxide we're working on right now, whether that also aids in slower deterioration, as well as all the other benefits that we've been talking about with the heat islands and microplastics, air pollution, et cetera.
For the county,
So
for the county, for us, it has to be a road that we just paved, so only about 2 or 3 years old, kind of max. And then we also try to identify what roads are either heat islands or high travel areas. I would love to go and treat every road in Charleston, but with our limited budget, we have to be really selective and make good, be good stewards of taxpayer money.
Excellent. Mackenzie, a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Adopting new treatments can be tough, right?
Yeah, definitely.
We're used to doing things a certain way. And maybe you could talk to how you introduced this product and other products into your repertoire.
Sure. Yeah. So we, again, have been using reclamite for 10 years or so. So we already had a good relationship and a lot of trust built there. And then a lot of communication with not only management, but county council. And then when we took it to the public, we did like the videos we showed. We did a lot of yard signs, media releases. We want to be fully transparent, and showing the community what we're working on and bringing in members of the community, get their buy-in as well.
All righty. I don't see any other questions. What's a rough, how much difference between reclamite and the titanium dioxide?
Yeah, so we're paying about $1 more a square yard for it.
And Ken, for you, what type of size project for either product, the Reclamite or the titanium, before, make it worthwhile to come out?
From project size, we do everything from very small. We just try to do very small projects. When I say very small, 20,000 square yards or under, we try to group that with other agencies nearby, if possible. Otherwise, we have to have a mobilization just to get there. But typically, when we get up to around 75,000 square yards or more, that mobilization fee kind of gets incorporated back into the unit price, and we're able to do projects really of any size, but small projects will need a mobilization fee. We work, Steve, for some agencies that are, they have 1 mile of pavement, so
Yeah.
Everybody needs help at the level they need help, and we're fortunate that if we're afforded the time to get there, we usually can fit them in.
All righty. Well, I don't see any questions, and we are really struggling with with the technology today, so I apologize for that. But we certainly appreciate Mackenzie. Thank you for presenting, and Ken, much appreciated that you're sharing this information with us, and we thank everybody for attending. So I'll talk about next month's Lunch and Learn. It'll be April 30th at 11:30 a.m. and the topic is Where the Rubber Meets the Road, Enhancing Your Asphalt Mix with Rubber Asphalt Additives. And our speakers are going to be Doug Carlson and Alexei Ondrik with Liberty Tire. So again, it's April 30th, 11:30 a.m. and you'll receive an email from me. And if you're not on our list, please let me know, and we can put you on the list, and I won't bug you. I promise.
Steve,
So thank you.
Steve, we have
Yeah.
a question. I'm sorry, Gail Mowry, I think, has put in a question earlier that probably got lost. Let me see if I can find it, and if you'll check chat too and see if you can find it from Gail.
And if you have questions that you thought of after, you can send them in, and we will get them answered. And if I'm going through the chat, and I am.
I am too.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, Gail, if you wouldn't mind putting it back in, just real quick. Does the use of I'm sorry, not going to get it, the TIO2 Rejuvenator create any concerns with an increase in nitrogen concentrations in stormwater runoff?
No. We've actually done testing with some of that water runoff into systems that are being monitored already for background, and we haven't seen any increase there. If you think about what's happening from an air pollution source, you're in the parts per billion, and a water source, you're in the parts per million. So you're already, I believe that's 1,000 times less in the air. So if ever you pull it out of the air and drop it onto the pavement, it's still 1,000 times less. So it's probably going to be a negligible effect to water pollution sources when you're measuring in parts per million versus parts per billion. So in the air, for example, the air pollution inhalation problem, that's a safety concern for us if you breathe in the parts per billion range. But once it drops to the ground, it's to the parts per million. Does that make sense?
Yep. All righty, folks.
I think they were also asking if that data is available per chance, like by chance.
So I've asked the agency that was monitoring their stormwater system, and they were looking for that data to see if there was any background increase. They don't have a report pre and post treatment. They just knew that the monitoring piece of their agency said there was no effect. I can see if they have a report available or if there's test data pre and post that would be available.
I can add too that we've had DHAT come to our project a few times too, and they've had no issues either.
Yeah, and you're on the water almost everywhere, Mackenzie.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of heightened concern there.
Mhm.
And
Alrighty,
she
folks.
said that would
Yeah.
be great. Thanks.
Alrighty, folks. Well, thanks for attending and have a great day, and I'll see you next month. Take care.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.